What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Q&A session here on my YouTube channel. First off, how do you get your question answered by me on one of my Q&A videos or in one of my weekly Wednesday vlogs? It's easy. Make sure you guys are following me on social media at SwimMiller on Twitter and at Cody Miller on Instagram. And yeah, without further ado, let's get to your questions. Before we get started, really quickly, you guys have been asking me for a long time to do giveaways, to do like fan giveaways, and I'm gonna start doing them now, and I'm really excited about it. Have you guys seen yesterday's vlog? Introducing the Catalyst Stroke or the Stroke Catalyst paddles by Tier. Easily now my all-time favorite piece of swimming equipment. So those paddles, my new favorite paddles, I'm gonna be giving away paddles to 3 different people, and here's how you enter to get your chance to win those paddles. First off, you guys have to be subscribed to my YouTube channel and following me on Instagram. Secondly, I posted this picture on Instagram an hour ago. What you need to do is go to my Instagram, find that picture, and in the comment section, let me know why I should send you a free pair of my new favorite paddles. I'll probably wait a week after this video goes live to let people send in their comments, and then I'll pick my 3 favorite answers that you guys send in to me. And our first question today comes from _, who asks, can you explain what walking on is when you're joining a college swim team? Yeah, really quickly, a walk-on is just someone who's joining the team without scholarship. So it's someone who maybe doesn't score on the conference or the NCAA level for that team yet, but is given 1 or 2 years to develop into a point scorer. Walking on essentially means you're not guaranteed a spot on the team for 4 years, but they're letting you on the team because they see potential in you and they think that you could develop into a big point scorer. Next question comes from Addy.Caddy, who asks, did you have that must-win attitude when racing the 200-meter breaststroke in the Olympic trials in 2016 since you already qualified for the 100 breast? Great question. And the answer is yes and no. So at 2016 trials, the 100 breaststroke was my first event. And as you guys know, I qualified for the Olympics in that event. And then 2 days later was the 200 breast. And honestly, after I qualified for the Olympics, everything just exploded. And that night I didn't sleep because I was so excited. I just achieved a lifelong dream. Like, I was on cloud 9. I was so energetic and so excited that I literally didn't even sleep that night. And the next day I was, celebrating with my family. And so to answer your question, no, I wasn't fully locked in for the 200 breast. It's not that there wasn't, the effort wasn't there. It's just that coming off of that win of making the Olympic team was something that I'd never experienced before, and I quite frankly didn't know how to handle it at the time. I needed to have my coach kind of put me in check and reel me in and say, hey man, we're not done yet. Like, great, you made the team, we got to take the next step. And you need those people in your life to kind of reel you back in. But to answer your question, no, honestly no. And it showed. I didn't have the greatest 200 at Olympic trials, but I could go into that for hours and hours. KSawFL asks, what is the best cleaner for the bathroom? Clorox? Luca.Hari asks, what do you do when and if you can't sleep before a race? Yeah, so that happens sometimes leading into a big meet, leading into a big race. Your nerves and your energy and your excitement level and all of those feelings you have keeps you awake. And I'll tell you what I do to try and prevent that, and then what I do if that does happen. So leading into a big meet or a big race or a big event, I try to do a lot of visualization to kind of put myself in the moment so that I know what it's gonna feel like and I know what to expect before I get there. That way, once I get to the meet or the competition, it's just following a routine, something that I've already prepared for, right? So I visualize myself behind the blocks. I visualize myself swimming the race. I visualize what it's gonna be like, throughout my day, at the hotel, traveling to and from the pool, going through media, going through warm down, going through everything, so that there's no surprises, right? You try to prepare yourself the best you can. And that honestly helps me sleep because I feel like I'm prepared for it. But sometimes, sometimes you can't prepare for everything, and sometimes your excitement level gets too high and you can't sleep. And what I do is I grab my iPad and turn something on Netflix, and I keep the volume really low, and I just listen to something. And there are some people out there who fall asleep watching TV. I'm not one of those people, but if I'm up late at night and I'm not able to sleep, it's because my mind is running and I'm thinking about things, and you need to find a way to shut that off. And for me, if I listen to something like a podcast or like I turn on an episode of The Office and I just listen to it, then it takes my mind away from something and it will allow me to fall asleep. That's the best piece of advice I can give. Maddie Hard T asks, what is the best tech suit you've ever worn? Hands down, the Tier of Victor. My all-time favorite tech suit. That suit is incredible. Corinne_Cords asks, how important is it to have good sportsmanship? I love this question. Having good sportsmanship is one of the most important things across all sports, across everything, and here's why. You know, when I look back on my swimming career and all the races I won and everything that I did, the biggest thing that I will be remembered for is the type of person I was on deck to my opponents, to the people I was around, to my teammates. It's your attitude. You're remembered by your attitude. Sure, you know, there are certain races that are discussed, but I believe that that is the most important thing, and that's why I try to be overwhelmingly positive as much as possible. And that's one of the reasons why you'll see me, if you ever see me at a swim meet, when I finish a race, I will always tell the person to my left or to my right, good race. I'll shake their hand, give them a fist pump, give them something. I try to tell both people on both sides, whether it's prelims, finals, whether it's a good race or a bad race or anything. Yeah, I was taught the lesson of common courtesy at a young age, and I think that's really important because, you know, when my swimming career ends, you know, that's what you will be remembered for is the type of person that you are, and that's really, really important to me. And so make sure you say good job to people when you lose to them and when you beat them. Jenna Salagi asks, favorite type of popcorn? As you guys know, I'm obsessed with popcorn. My favorite is movie theater butter, just straight up butter and salt, but I do love cheddar popcorn. I also love caramel corn. I really love like all kinds, like for my wedding we had, oh my God, have you guys seen that picture of all the different kinds of popcorn that Allie and I had at our wedding? We had like 12 different flavors. There's like a dill pickle flavor popcorn. I love popcorn. Connor Ballard asks, any films to recommend at the moment? There's a lot of good movies out right now. I think the best movie of the year so far is probably A Quiet Place. I'm not a huge horror movie fan. I'm not a big scary movie guy. It's not really a scary movie. It's more of like a suspenseful thriller. I think that's the best movie of the year. I'm about to go see Ant-Man and the Wasp. I'm pretty excited about that. I actually really liked the new Jurassic World movie. I really quite liked it a lot. Avengers Infinity War, everybody's seen it, but I loved it. There's a reason. I mean, that was just, that was amazing, right? Jason_Swims16 asks, what would you consider your best race you have ever had? Great question. I could talk about this for a long time. No doubt about it, the best race I've ever had was the 100 breaststroke final in Rio, where I won my bronze medal and set the American record, because it was the outcome that I was looking for. It was the outcome that I wanted, and everything kind of went my way, and that was a great race. But that wasn't the best race I've ever swam from a technical standpoint. See, there's different ways. It depends on how you look at it, honestly. You know, looking at races from a technical standpoint, I will dissect that race in Rio, and I can pinpoint 4 or 5 things that I could do better when I was swimming that race. So I know that I have room for improvement. The best race I've ever swam was actually the 200 IM in 2016 when I first qualified for Olympic trials. My first Olympic trials cut that I made was in the 200 IM, and I look back on that race and the way I executed that race, to this day I don't think I could have done anything better at that point in time, and that's why I made the cut. That's why I got to go to Olympic trials at 16, and you know, everything from a technical standpoint went right. I could talk on and on and on about that, but you know, I don't believe you'll ever have a perfect race, but you're always striving for that, right? The Caroline Bartel asks, do you consider yourself famous? Absolutely not. M. Arthur asks, when is your birthday? January 9th. Bradley D4 asks, what's your opinion on The Last Jedi? Okay, not gonna get into it right now because I'll talk for an hour about it, but I liked it. I don't love it. It is one of my favorite Star Wars movies, but we could talk, we'll have a conversation about that. We could talk forever and ever and ever about that, but there are things in The Last Jedi that I love, and there are things in The Last Jedi that I'm not a big fan of. But ultimately, it is a good movie. Ava Burns asks, do you like pineapple on pizza? You guys know this. I love pineapple on pizza. Oh, Alina Lee asks, what's your favorite memories with your pal Lily King? Hard to say, hard to choose just one. Maybe I'll do an entire video on that because Lily and I have a lot of great memories together. And our last question of the day comes to us from Taylor W11, who asks, what is your favorite Harry Potter character and quote? Character, it's Harry. I mean, I know that's a cop-out, but my favorite character is Harry. My favorite quote, hands down, is a quote from Dumbledore, and he says, happiness can be found even in the darkest of times if one only remembers to turn on the light. I love that that quote for a million reasons. You guys who have been watching my videos for a long time know how much I love Harry Potter. Shoot, I'm doing this video in a Harry Potter room. There's a Harry Potter sticker on that wall. There's a platform 9 3/4 sticker right behind me. I have Harry Potter movie posters. I have wands behind me. Another one of my favorite quotes from Dumbledore is, "It is our choices that show us who we truly are far more than our abilities." And that is one of the reasons why sportsmanship is so important to me, right? Like you'll be talked about and remembered by your medals, sure, but far more importantly and on a grander scale is your character and how you treat people. And people ask me all the time why I love Harry Potter so much, and there are a million reasons why, but one of the biggest reasons was, you know, growing up in some of my hardest times and some of my darkest times, you know, my parents got divorced, my dad had addiction problems, he had a serious drinking problem, and I was a little bit of a troubled kid. I struggled with a lot of things, but reading the Harry Potter books, it was kind of my escape, and I kind of gravitated towards Harry and some of his struggles and a lot of the themes throughout those books, and it kind of got me through. So I have a lot of attachment to those books. You know, there are a lot of reasons. I'm a super nerd. But yeah, I love those quotes. And that's gonna be a wrap on today's Q&A video. If you guys didn't get your question answered, keep sending in questions. I get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of questions within just a few hours, so I can't get to all of them. Try sending in new questions, try sending in different questions. I'm gonna try to get to as many as I can. As always, make sure you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure you guys are following me on social media. That's how you'll get your questions answered. Also, the paddle giveaway. Make sure you go to that photo on my Instagram and let me know why you should get a free pair of paddles from me, and I will have them sent to you. Remember, I'm gonna choose my 3 favorite. I'm gonna wait about a week, and then soon someone's gonna get lucky and get those paddles. Thank you for watching. Turn that little notification bell on so that you guys get notified every time I post a new video. And until the next video, I will see you guys later.